I'm Whitney Turner in the WVLT newsroom, and joining us is Knoxville Police Department Lieutenant Andrew Bowman. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And you are with the Internet Crimes Against Children Division. Can you talk about what your department specializes in and the trends that you're seeing in our area?
Yeah, sure. We at Knoxville Police Department are the lead agency of the Tennessee Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. We're one of 61 regional task forces uh, that operates under a directive from the Department of Justice. And we specialize in going after online child predators and trying to intervene between those bad actors and those that would exploit children using technology.
Over the years, can you talk about what trends you're seeing in terms of how these predators are approaching our children?
Sure. The main driver right now in online exploitation is the use of social media. Um, that's the main place where you're going to find teens and children, and so of course that's where predators are looking to exploit them online. And that it's across platforms. There is no one particular app that is bad while others are good. It's just wherever you can find children, you will find predators looking to exploit them.
Predators meet children where they are, like you mentioned. But some of the apps seeing the most concern, according to the TBI, are Kick and Snapchat. What do parents need to know how to monitor these apps that are kind of designed to be private?
Yeah, pretty much all of these social media apps that are designed for chatting and online communication and connecting individuals are really places where you have to be incredibly careful with who your children are interacting with. Our best piece of advice, no matter what the app is to communicate with your children. Starting very early on, try to establish guidelines for how to develop relationships online. We think it's really important for parents to understand that to children, their online relationships is just as real and meaningful to them as real life relationships are to us. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has released a study that shows that nearly a third of children under the age of 13 find their online friends to be their closest friends in their lives. It's really important for those of us in the older generations to realize that things are not the same way that they have been when we were children. We need to recognize um, that children are looking to develop these relationships online and give them the critical thinking skills to be able to protect themselves while they're there. Um, we need to have open communication. You're not going to be able to monitor your children 24/7, so we really need to provide them the skills to go forth and protect themselves.
And it seems sextortion cases are sadly on the rise through these apps and these programs where kids are on. What are some of the behavior changes that parents can notice in their children? I mean, even the most vigilant parents, like you mentioned, can't monitor those apps 24/7. Are there behavioral markers that might tip off parents that something is wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. Certain behaviors that should give you some pause or at least have you looking into what might be going on with your child is withdrawal from their normal daily activities, um, anxiousness around their devices, wanting to hide their devices from you or hide their activities. If you walk into the room and they quickly close out of their screen or they just don't want to see you to see what they're doing. While some of that is normal and understandable from a privacy perspective, if this is not your child's normal behavior, that this could indicate that someone is putting some pressure and stress on your child suddenly. So you really need to monitor that by knowing who your children are talking to online, and noticing any behavioral changes.
And you mentioned some kids feel most close to the people that they meet online, but these threats can turn deadly serious, kind of putting kids into a corner, feeling very isolated and alone, like they can't speak up. What would you say to kids about what they need to be aware of when they're interacting online with others?
Yeah, so our children, we need to be really careful about the information that we're giving out online. Um, a lot of these bad actors will try to convince you that they are a member of your peer group that you just haven't met yet, or that they're friends of a friend, or they know somebody that you know. But you really need to be very cognizant of the fact that if you don't actually know these people, if you've never met them, then you don't need to be providing personal information or anything to them. It's most important for children to know that if they make a mistake online, it's not the end of the road. Um, just because they tell you, hey, it's out there on the internet, you can never get it back. That's not necessarily true these days. There are tools available that we can uh, reach out to electronic service providers to help us take down material that shouldn't be online. So just know that there is help out there. Um, if you're a victim of sextortion, if someone is asking you to provide them with material, please contact a trusted adult immediately. Disengage with the conversations with the person who is trying to exploit you, and contact the cyber tip line at cybertipline.org or 1-800 the lost, and those folks will be able to provide victim services, be able to provide advocacy, and will get the information to the appropriate law enforcement agency very quickly.
Right now, the TBI is reporting that they have 22,000 cases across the state, which, according to their report, is a 140% increase over the past 5 years. Has KPD seen a similar increase in the threats or the cases here?
Yeah, so as the task force lead for the state here at KPD, we handle every case that comes to the state of Tennessee in the ICAC world. And since the since the news release that TBI did just about a month ago, those numbers have continued to increase. We're now over 25,000 cyber tips cases from that have been passed on to us from the National Center of Missing Exploited Children this year. And since 2022, that's now over 150% increase in our caseload. We have 73 affiliate agencies across the state that work with us, along with TBI, FBI, Secret Service, and Homeland Security to try to address these. But it does put a lot of stress and pressure on the resources across the state and the nation.
Those are alarming statistics. I do want to talk about some of the successes. That same report from the TBI is reporting that 43 children were rescued and there were 26 arrests in Tennessee. Can you talk about some of the successes your department has seen?
Yeah, we've just recently we were able to wrap up a case in North Knoxville where we were able to rescue two children from ongoing abuse. And it's just part of the larger picture. Son, we have, as a task force in Tennessee, we've made over 27 live victim rescues this year, rescuing children from ongoing abuse. And as you say, over 40 newly identified victims that we were able to intervene for. As a task force across the state, we're over 206 arrests and many, many more cases in various stages of prosecution. We continue to fight hard to intervene between exploiters and children, and we'll continue to do so.
This is an overwhelming caseload. What are the limitations of your department, and what can the public do to help you out?
Yeah, so at all the agencies across the state, we're limited by manpower and technology and funding, and we're operating under grants from the state of Tennessee and the federal government. And it for us the biggest help is to talk to your elected officials and make sure that the ICAC program remains a priority for both the state of Tennessee and the Department of Justice.
And what are the goals for your division moving forward?
Yeah, so we're continually looking to expand our reach and our capabilities, both technology and personnel wise. We're constantly trying to recruit additional agencies across the state to provide them with technology that can help even your local department anywhere in the state of Tennessee to be able to intervene in these cases. It takes a lot of specialized training, a lot of technology and equipment to keep up in this battle that we're in. And so we're focused on trying to expand those capabilities stationwide or statewide, and to be able to train investigators to have the skills necessary to keep up with the technology that's being exploited.
This is certainly a growing threat. Those statistics all alarming. This is critical information for both parents and kids. Lieutenant Bowman, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.